Hey there guys, what's going on? In this Best Class Setups in Warzone series, we're back with another spicy one here today. I believe it was about halfway through this week where we did make a video on the 357 snake shot revolver in multiplayer, and you're probably wondering why we're making basically the same video again. Well, I discovered something recently and it is a little bit upsetting. The 357 snake shot revolvers are incredibly overpowered in Warzone. Like, the first time I tried this, I saw it recommended in a video, and I was like, that's interesting. I wonder if it's as good as it is in multiplayer in Warzone. And not only was I pleasantly surprised, I was completely blown out of the water with just how overpowered these weapons are in Warzone. Like, you can just do so much damage in such a short space of time that it's pretty unbelievable. Like, as far as I know from my testing, from my brief period of testing with this, it's basically just like you do 2 shots, so 1 pull of the trigger for each gun, and it breaks someone's armor, and then 1 more pull of the trigger for each gun, and they're dead. Like, that's insane. Like, that is actually absurd. That sort of balances out with some of the other shotguns in the game. Even the R90 shotgun still has to fire twice, break the armor, fire twice, and then they're dead, basically. And because this is a pistol, you get 2 of them, so it's even faster than that. And you're just like, that's outrageous. You have to fire your gun 4 times. Like, and keep in mind that normally with like an assault rifle or something like that, you have to shoot someone between 8 and like 13 or 14 times, depending on which gun you're using. So once you only have to fire your gun actually 4 times, so 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, like, and someone dies, that's actually outrageous. And it's a sidearm, and it's a pistol. So you move quickly, and it's really easy to use. Plus, you get to have a primary as well. But of course, just before we do get into the class here, let's try and get this video to 35 likes. We are really pushing out these targets more and more now, especially since you guys did hit 50 likes on the 1,000 subscriber video. The support from you guys has continued to be excellent recently, and we did recently pass 1,170 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. So do keep that going for me. 95% of you watching these videos are not subscribed, so it would very much help me out if you did hit that subscribe button with those notifications turned on so you don't miss any more of these videos. We are of course very close to 1,200 subscribers now, so let's talk about our 357 class here. So again, we are going to talk about the 357 here, but we did also make a video on this the other day. So we're going to keep this nice and short so you guys don't have to sit here for too long and listen to me talk about the 357 snake shot revolver again. We are of course going to talk about all the attachments and the perks and the grenade choices here, and we're going to show off the attachments at the start of the video, so the guys who are just looking for that kind of class setup can just go shred people with this because it's absolutely insane. These attachments make us an absolute melt machine up close. We're not going to be super efficient at long range, but even then we can still get 3 to 4 shot kills on unsuspecting victims. Like, it's actually insane how much damage you can do at range. Like, 3 to 4 shots is only 2 pulls of your guns. Like, you've got 2, so 2 shots is 1 trigger pull. That does enough damage to break their armor, and then 2 more, so 1 more trigger pull each is enough to kill someone, which is absolutely insane in this game. We do of course have to unlock the Akimbo perk through a challenge, which basically sees us having to get 3 kills without dying 5 times with the recon perk attached, which is actually quite easy. And then you do have to unlock the snake shot as well, which is a quite high rank unlock to get, which can take a little while, especially if you're trying to do it in Warzone. But man, just 1-shotting or 2-shotting people with these is absolutely busted in this game. I didn't think it was going to be as satisfying as it was in multiplayer, but I was completely wrong. Like, people just die so easily with this. Like, I was competing with someone at sort of medium-ish range. I think they were about 15-20 meters away. They had an assault rifle and I had these. So I started firing at him and I thought I was going to die. Fair enough. I thought I was done. He had an assault rifle and I actually won the fight, like, with armor left. Like, I pulled the triggers as fast as I could and he just died. Like, he didn't even get too much damage off on me. It was absolutely insane. So of course, if you are dipping out of the video after just grabbing the attachments, that's perfectly alright. I do appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you in the next one. But for the rest of you, I'll be talking about the rest of the class like we normally do with the rest of the setup here. For the rest of you though, I am going to go over our primary perks and grenade choices here like we normally do, in sort of a little bit less detail than we usually do, because we did focus on this gun a few days ago. So of course, in the primary slot, you can run this with the riot shield in Warzone if you want to be getting massive tool. Like, if you don't want to get any kills or get the job done at all, you can pretty much just run the riot shield on this. But realistically, we do want to be running the HDR or some kind of longer range weapon, just for sort of allowing us to be more powerful at range. If somebody is outside of our 20-meter kill range, basically we can kill them. The HDR is the sniper with the fastest bullet velocity, so you don't actually have to lead your targets as much, and it's very, very easy to hit people from very far away. We're going to do a video more covering this full class setup later on, because I don't really have enough sniper footage at the moment because I'm kind of bad at it. But we'll see how we go. In the perk 1 slot, we do of course have cold-blooded just for that thermal resistance, and I guess we're undetectable by AI targeting systems and we don't trigger the high alert warning, but the thermal optics is the real star of the show as per usual, basically staying off of people's thermal sight. Making us not glow hot white is really, really important, and sort of The longer you go into the game, the more effective this will be, especially if you don't get gulagged and you sort of keep your perks the whole time. Basically, people will run out of their perks if they do die, go to the gulag and stuff like that. So in the last couple of circles, you'll actually find that less people have Cold-Blooded and Ghost on than more at sometimes. Perk 2, we do of course want Ghost just to stay undetectable on those UAVs, heartbeat sensors, and radar drones. Of course, these can come up sometimes, especially like the radar drones. They're kind of rare, but heartbeat sensors and UAVs are pretty much everywhere in this game at the moment. Little tip here, if you do manage to buy 3 UAVs, you'll actually get a sort of VSAT, like advanced UAV kind of effect, where you'll be able to see exactly where people are and exactly which direction they're facing. So it makes it very, very easy to pick people off with these particular weapons here, your HDR and your 357s. We do of course want amped in the perk 3 slot just for that faster weapon swap speed if we do decide to run the HDR and start sniping at everyone, and then somebody gets too close to us, we're able to pull out a very, very powerful pistol straight away and sort of blow them away without too much thought. So of course amped is a very good option in the last slot here. In the lethal slot, we do usually run the C4, but of course every single one of these lethal options do a very good job in their own special way. Like you can use proxy mines, claymores to cover areas that you don't want to be looking at all the time, or just sort of general options that sort of kill people like frags, molotovs, semtexes and stuff like that. They're all very, very powerful options. So you can pretty much get away with whatever you like here because you will find more on the ground. And of course the tactical is of course the heartbeat sensor, just so you can sometimes see where enemies are. Like I said, in the final circles and stuff like that, people won't have Ghost because they will have died, gone to the gulag, and they'll be sort of limited on what they have. So take the information that you do get from this with a grain of salt, because just because it says there's no one there doesn't mean that somebody isn't actually there. So don't always trust what the heartbeat sensor says. Of course, the main star of the show is usually the weapon that we are talking about. So in this particular weapon, we do have the barrel slot here with the 357 long barrel. This does give us damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control at the cost of nothing, basically. We don't really lose anything from having this barrel attached, like aim down sight speed, we're not aiming down sight anyway, and movement speed, we move faster already because we are running a pistol. So there's no real downside to this. Like damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control are very powerful options to get on this particular pistol, as it allows us to fight from further away, like extend our damage range out to about 20 meters or so, and we can do some serious work at those ranges. Like I said, we're going to do this a little bit more quick fire than we usually do because we did already make a video on this. So in the laser slot, we can either run the 1 milliwatt option or the 5 milliwatt option. These are both very, very powerful at what they do, but just because I have a tendency to take out these pistols and sort of sneak around with them, try and get into buildings and stuff like that, get close range, I don't want to be giving information away to people. So of course the 1 milliwatt laser is going to be the better option if you're trying to be stealthy and you don't want to give information away, as you can just sort of get that extra hip fire accuracy without giving away the visual information of the green laser. But again, both of these options are very, very good, so you can pretty much choose whatever you prefer here, and I prefer the 1 milliwatt. In the trigger slot, we do have the lightweight trigger, and that does of course give us the fastest fire rate available for this particular weapon. Like the match grade trigger does give us fire rate boost, but it's not as high as the lightweight trigger, and it does also reduce our hip fire accuracy, which I learnt kind of recently, which is a little bit embarrassing. But again, match grade trigger is not good, and the heavy duty trigger doesn't give us the fire rate boost. So of course we need the lightweight trigger just so we can get the maximum shots out. The more shots we fire down range with this at people, the more armor we break, the more kills we get, and it's absolutely wild. So a must pick attachment here in the lightweight trigger. Of course, another must pick attachment here with the snake shot, with the damage radius increase and the damage reduction to our range, of course. But again, basically you just can kill people from 20 meters away with no effort with this, and it is absolutely insane. Buckshot filled shells, you just down people straight away, it's not even a concern. You can either pull out your sniper and kill people from far away. If somebody gets too close, you just pull out your basically pocket shotgun, which is nuts, blast people away, and they don't even stand a chance up close. It's actually wild. Like, this can pretty much outgun anything up close. As I said already, I outguns an assault rifle at sort of medium range, which you shouldn't be able to do, but I did, because maybe that guy was bad, or maybe these shotguns are busted. It's hard to tell, really. And again, the big dog, the perk option that does bring this all together. This class is not complete without the Akimbo perk, basically making our time to kill very, very low. It's not zero like it would be in multiplayer, because people don't die instantly. They sometimes go down, they sometimes have armor. So having Akimbo basically makes us unstoppable. Run into someone with these and they just die. Like, of course, they're not going to be too effective at long range because we can't aim down sight. A single one of these would be better at fighting for slightly longer ranges, but at those sort of 15 to 20 meter ranges, with 2 of these, we just do so much work. It is unbelievable. You can't really afford not to run this at the moment. Like, I've seen this so often now. People must be talking about it in videos and stuff for Warzone and finding out that it's actually busted. Like, I've been championing the cause of the 357 snake shot revolver for literally 100 years since the game came out. Like, this is the most busted gun in the game, and now people are finally working it out for Warzone as well, and that's pretty good. That's good for the views and the subs, boys. So again, just quickly, this is our full class setup attachment here with all the attachments. These are very, very effective at sort of shredding people at those medium ranges. Anything longer than about 20 meters or so and you'll be pretty ineffective and you'll need something else. But that is of course why we do run a sniper or an assault rifle in the primary slot, just to cover our weaknesses here with this. But of course, this is the rest of the class as well, with all of our perks like lethal options and the tactical options, and of course the primary as well, which in this case is the HDR. We're going to make a video on a sniping class setup, which I think will feature the HDR because it is the best sniper in Warzone at the moment. But I think if you do get a vast number of kills with this particular class setup, especially with the 357 snake shot revolvers, I feel like you have to drop a like on this video and then make sure you do subscribe if you haven't done so already, because it does very much help me out. And I feel like I deserve it for providing you with absolutely busted information in Warzone at the moment. So again, if you did enjoy this, make sure you do leave a like and do subscribe if you are new around here, of course, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!